I always wanted to be a mom, and for some reason, I wasn't given the opportunity. I tried to get pregnant for years and it didn't happen. For me, Mother's Day makes me feel a sense of emptiness that I don't think I'll ever be able to fill. Any suggestions? Yeah, I think, mothers, it's a beautiful energy. Maybe I'll tell this personal story. I wasn't planning to do this, but maybe a personal story is, I always thought I would be a mother of a child, not just a fur baby. Many of you know Miss Lily, and she is definitely my child and soul from another life. But there was somewhere along the way, I realized that, having a child wasn't going to be my destiny. I was never actually sad about it. And I think one of the reasons why I wasn't sad is that I realized that there were two main lessons that children come into our lives to teach us, whether they're ours or someone else's. And I didn't necessarily think that I'd mastered those two, but I definitely understood why it wasn't my destiny in this one. Does anyone want to guess? Put them in the comments below if you want to guess. What are the two things that all children are here to help us with? Number one is pure love, and number two is forgiveness. And the only way to pure, unconditional love is through forgiveness. And those two main lessons children teach us here on planet Earth. And then, of course, if they're our own children, we have lots of other soul contracts with them and lots of things that we learn from them. But they really all roll up into those two simple ones. So again, it wasn't that I had mastered pure love and forgiveness necessarily, but I realized that, for me in this lifetime, having children just isn't part of my destiny. And I actually felt really great about that. And I feel like I've had so many children in previous lives. So for me, it just wasn't in the plan. Now, for you, the person asking the question, I think that, again, if it were meant to be in your divine plan, in your soul's plan, you would have had children. But I think that there's a good possibility there are probably many other children that are in your life, or that you're in their life in a way that you impact them even greater than a biological mother might. And even if it's not a child, maybe it's some other human that you are a mentor to, right? Because I think motherhood and fatherhood, it is a lot about mentorship, and it is a lot about soul contracts. We think that we have children to teach them everything and to help them grow up, and when in reality, there's a contract there, and they're actually here to teach us a lot more in many ways than we are to teach them. I mean, of course, we're here to help them understand that if they touch the stove, that it's hot and that they'll burn their hand, and not to do that again. But on a soul level, there's so many deep, deep things that we get from children that we also get from other relationships in our life. So while it can feel sad sometimes to not have our own children, I think when we step into, hey, what are the actual soul contracts that I've called in for my life? And if it's not through a child, just really relishing all of the other soul contracts that we have. And like I said, there may be people that are in your life, children. It may be nieces, nephews, your best friend's child that you're having a tremendous impact on without necessarily the 18 plus year commitment. And so there's a lot of freedom that comes with not having your own children. And I think there's also a lot to be said for not creating a lot of new karma when we don't have children in our lives in this particular lifetime. So I think there's a really soft spot you can get to in your heart about not having your own children. And it can be a really beautiful thing to really be a surrogate to other people's children and be able to play that really impactful role in their life. So I hope that helps you shift a little bit. And we also always have this option of pets. Like I've mentioned, Miss Lily is a beautiful little fur baby. And admittedly, when I first got her, I was like, I don't want to be anybody's mommy. I didn't even want to be a mom to a dog. And as our relationship, unfolded, I realized that, yeah, that is our relationship, and that I am here to care for her, but she's also here to care for me. So we can have these relationships with our pets and our animals as well. So hopefully that's helpful. I would love to hear any comments that you might have. So please don't hesitate if you have some other thoughts or suggestions on that comment. All right. It's a great segue into the Awaken Inner Wisdom community. I would love for you to apply. It's a place where like-minded souls can come and get into deeper discussions. So on this show, we talk about lots of topics that all relate to relationships and helping us shift and unravel our minds. And so there's great discussion that happens here in a Q&A format, but in the Awaken Inner Wisdom membership, you'll actually be with me in a closed private Zoom group. And each week we have a really in-depth discussion about a topic and then an open forum where people can comment and go deeper. And it's created specifically for people like you who are looking for their tribe, who are looking for those higher conscious conversations. And look, I know we all have tons of friends and people in our lives, but a lot of times those friends aren't on the same spiritual ascension journey that we are. We can only go so far with them on certain topics, and then it's like, okay, we kind of capped out. But you desire to have deeper, richer discussions in a place where you can take things that you really want insights on, or you really want to anchor in a different way. And so the Awaken Inner Wisdom membership is a beautiful place to do that. There is an application process, so please go to bethbell.me and you'll see where to apply there. I'd love to hear from you. And there's lots of other resources on bethbell.me. There's the Awakening and Healing Handbook, the Herpes Handbook, the Psychedelics Resource Guide, lots of other things on there. There's the flower gazing module. So if you're someone who's having a hard time with meditation or just quieting the mind, I talk about how I was really able to leverage the flowers into meditation. Actually, the universe really guided me into photographing flowers and observing them and really leveraging that as a way to quiet my mind. So there's lots of resources over there. I can't wait to hear from you. As always, if you have a question, you're watching this on replay, submit the questions to bethbell.me/question, or you can put them here in the comments on my YouTube channel. So I look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meantime, please like and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when the next live is, 11:11 on every Sunday. All right, wishing you only bliss and love until next week. Namaste.